I'm a real estate photographer and I was on a job a few days ago and one of my photos looked like this. There is absolutely no reason for it, so I started to see what would cause such a weird photograph. So I looked a little deeper and I want you to decide whether I found a ghost or if I'm just being an idiot. G'day friends, this channel is primarily an introduction to photography for beginners, but every now and then sometimes something strange happens in my job that I feel compelled to talk about it with you guys. So let me first explain the scenario so you can get some kind of context of what may have happened. I was doing a dusk shoot at a house that was built in the 70s and it was brightly lit and had been fully renovated, and it was not creepy in any way, shape or form. The husband and wife owners were there with me. I'd photographed the inside and the front already and was doing the rear yard. And how I take my photos for real estate is by the camera shooting 5 images, one after the other at different exposures to catch all the detail in the shadows and also to catch all the detail in the highlights, as you can see here. But as you start to lose light, you set the shutter to remain open for longer to catch more of those shadows. So I lined up this shot and set focus, and the female owner was in the house on the other side of the house, and the male owner was out there in the yard with me. And as I pressed the button for this shot, he asked me if he should hide the hose that was out on the lawn. So I walked about 4 or 5 meters over to him to show him where to hide it, and then I went back to the camera and saw that it had finished its 5 photos. I didn't check them because, as I said, I had just done the front shots, so I knew my settings were good. I then photographed the rest of the house exterior without any problems. When I got home and looked at all my images, I saw this. As I scrolled down, this photo stood out and I thought, what is that? Now, some of you might say that I moved the camera early before the last exposure had finished, but that isn't the case, as it would blur the whole image. And as you can see down on the ground, it's all perfectly in focus. And when you toggle from the shot before, you can see it doesn't move at all. So is it a floodlight or a sensor light that came on, you might ask? Well, when I took the photo, all lights were on already, and there was a floodlight on the back of the house, but it's facing away and it was also behind the camera. So what is it? I then decided to see if I could bring any detail up in the bright areas, so I loaded the shot into Lightroom and messed with the exposure and a few other settings, and I got no detail out of the white blob, but I did notice something in the shadow on the left of the image. I kept tweaking the settings bit by bit, trying to get detail to show up in that area, and at no point did I draw an image or add any masks. This was just color correction. The more I tweaked the color in the settings, the more a shape started to appear. Then I noticed a very clear shadow that looks like a head, torso and arms, and you can see the hand here too. It looks like there's some kind of cross on its chest, and you can make out the head as well. It's almost as if someone is getting up from the chair. So I zoomed in on the face, but I couldn't make out any detail, as you can see. I then opened it in Photoshop and then drew around the shadow, and this is what it looks like. As I toggle between the two, you can see the shape, and I think it's definitely a human type shape. I'm sorry, that wasn't very nice. I just couldn't resist. Now, I've photographed around 5,000 houses and I've never seen an image come up like this in my camera or any other camera I've ever used. So what do you think? Did I see a ghost, or is it just a trick of the light, or am I just being a weird Australian? There was no way a passing car's headlights could shine through there. There was no campfire or a fire next door to cause any smoke, and the wife was inside the house on the other side of the house, and the husband was with me. And because I'm a real estate photographer, I do have things happen sometimes, like in the video here about a creepy house I photographed. Give that a click and I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching.